On Haiti and the economy there and the upcoming elections, we welcome back Mark Weisbrot. He's the co-director for the Center of Economic and Policy Research. Good to see you, sir.
Great to be here with you.
Let's start with the economy first, and we're going to get to the elections in a little bit. A lot has been made about the weakness in the economy. We mentioned some of the bright spots, which were tourism coming around, so to speak. Your thoughts on the economy, where it stands now?
Well, I think the big failure was the reconstruction. They were going to build back better, and there was $9.3 billion in foreign aid pledged, and there's very little to show for it.
What happened?
USAID, part of the U.S. State Department, they were going to build 15,000 houses. They built about 900. The Red Cross didn't deliver either. Really, there's...
Are you saying these aid organizations either misspent the money or flat out did not deliver?
Well, it's hard to, you can't even say where it all went, but you can see, for instance, if you look at USAID, only about 1% of their money went to the Haitian government, well, actually, it was a little more than 1% of aid went to the government, but only 1% of their aid from USAID went to Haitian companies and organizations, where 56% went to companies that were right here inside the Beltway. And that's a huge part of the problem. It was, they talk about corruption in Haiti, but this was corruption right here in Washington.
Why aren't people more up in arms about it? I mean, first of all, I can't verify what you're saying at all.
Oh, that's USAID statistics, so you actually can verify.
Okay, let's let it stand as it is, but why aren't people more angry about this?
Well, they should be. I tell you, they should be. There's so much to be angry about. There was also the cholera epidemic, which you still have people dying from cholera. 9,000 people died from it. That was brought there not by UN aid workers, but by UN troops. Troops that really didn't have any business being there. They came in there after the coup that the United States supported in 2004. And that brings you really to one of the fundamental problems here. If you're talking about even developing the tourism industry, for example, you need a government, a functioning government that can do that. And you can't have that when, the United States and its allies is overthrowing the government when they want to, changing the results of the election like they did in 2011, having elections like just in August, which they really weren't ready for. Only 18% of the people of the eligible voters actually voted.
I'm not going to let you blame the United States for the problem. 100% of what's going on in Haiti. They have their elections coming up. They're going to vote. If you're in charge, what are your top 2 or 3 things you're going to do right now for that country?
Well, for the elections, you have to make it safe for people to vote. There's violence there. The government is not even.
But there's troops on the ground.
Yeah, but they're not preventing it either. And that's one of the reasons that this election might turn out just as bad as what happened in August. And then you have the Organization of American States, which is supposed to be a neutral organization as observers, and they're going to approve it if the United States wants them to, if their candidates win, basically. That's how it's been working for a long time.
There is a lot of questions here, and we don't have time to get through all of them, but I do want to briefly touch on the tourism issue of it bouncing back. I mentioned earlier some of the organizations saying that it's part of the silver lining. Do you agree with that, first of all? And can that possibly at least help Haiti get out of the situation that it's in?
Yeah, well, it has potential, but again, for tourism, you need infrastructure. The hotels they're building right now are just, they're not based in the tourist areas. They're based on the aid workers that are coming there and spending money. So they would have to plan it. They would have to develop the infrastructure that they need for tourism. And for that, again, you have to give more than a few % of the total aid to the actual government and not just to private corporations and NGOs. And I'm not saying, there are NGOs that did some good things, and there has been some progress there, but it's very, very little.
This election, and help us all out. I mean, this is obviously not a big election that we're all following very, very closely. You are following this election very closely. My understanding is that we may not get a complete outcome, at least right away. It's just that the odds don't favor that. Tell us why this election is so very important, and also what to expect in the coming days and weeks.
Well, I don't know how important it's going to turn out to be. It depends whether the election can even be considered valid. As I said, you had only 18% of the population voted in the first round of the parliamentary elections in August. 25% of the districts had to be rerun this time because, you know, ballots were missing, there was fraud, there was violence, there was intimidation. So it really depends on whether this can be considered a legitimate election. And again, that decision has to be made impartially. It can't be made on the basis of who wins, as they have done, the Organization of American States has done in the past. It
is so frustrating for a country that so badly needs to get back on track to have this political mess to still deal with. Mark, I want to thank you for your time. Very, very good insights. Thank you.
Thank you.